Okay, so now we're going to go through some examples that you can actually see that will be similar to your homework problems. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. It says, suppose the heights in inches of men ages 20 to 29 in a country are normally distributed with a mean of 69.3 inches and a standard deviation of 2.57 inches. So this is similar to the last problem, but they changed the standard deviation. Find the percent of men who are between 66.73 and 71.87. So what you want to do is set up your normal curve first. So you want to put the 69.3 in the middle, and then you're going to add multiples of 2.57 and subtract to get your values. So let's see what that will look like. So we've got our 2.57. So that was this example. So our mean, 69.3, standard deviation of 2.57. So I just got these values, all right, on our curve by adding 2.57, add 2.57, add 2.57, and then from the mean, subtract 2.57, subtract, and subtract. But I've aligned it with our normal curve probabilities or percentages, so we can just add them up. So the question fell between 66.73 and 71.87. So looking at our curve, 66.73 and 71.87. So that's in between these two values. So looking at our percentages, that would be the 34% plus 34%, right? Or within one standard deviation on both sides is exactly 68% of our data. So there are 68%. So we're doing it as a percentage. All right. So let's check our answer, scroll down. And we're correct. All right, so let's look at question 2. And this is similar to how your homework questions will be stated as well. All right. Do we need to use that one? Okay. So now it says same type of question, but now the mean is 68.6 inches and the standard deviation is 2.78 inches. Find the percent of men who are shorter than 63.04. So again, we're going to set up a new curve with this value at the center, 68.6, and we're going to add 2.78, add 2.78, add 2.78. So that was this one. So we've got our 68.6, right, and 2.78. And we want to find percent that falls below 63.04. So 63.04 falls, again, those values should show up somewhere on your curve. We want to find the percent that falls below this number. So as we line it up, that would be these two percentages fall below. So 2.35 plus 0.15 is 2.5%. So we're going to type it in. We can scroll down and check our answer and see how we did. And we're good. We're correct. All right, so both of those are done. So now let's just look at a question that asks for probability. So I'm going to skip that. And we're going to go to our next question, which is over here. Okay. So now it says Flight 202's arrival time is normally distributed with a mean arrival time of 10:30 and a standard deviation of 15 minutes. Use the 8-part symmetry, so that's that normal curve that we have broken up into 8 parts, to find the probability that a randomly chosen arrival time is before 11:15. So again, we're going to set up a normal curve. We're going to put 10:30 at the center, and then we're going to keep adding and subtracting 15 minutes to get the values on our normal curve. And we want to find out before 11:15. So here's our 10:30. That goes at the center. We keep adding 15 minutes. All right, we get up to 11:15 here, and then subtract 15 minutes from each one. We get here. And the question was that the probability that the arrival time is before 11:15. So before 11:15 would be this area, everything to the left. So that's a lot to add up. So instead we can think about, well, this entire curve is 100%. So we're basically including everything except this 0.15. So 100% minus 0.15 is 99.85. Right, so 99.85% of the data. But you want to look at this question, and it said probability, not percentage. So 99.85, if we want to write it as a probability, has to be 0.9985. All right, so make sure when it says probability, you have to change your percentage to a decimal. All right, so that's the only difference between the questions. Some of the questions on the homework is some might ask for the percentage, some might ask for the probability. All right, but for everyone, you're going to be using this normal curve. So I'm going to attach this screen so you can actually make copies of it. I'm going to share this with you so that you can fill in your values as you go through the homework, and it'll be easier for you to answer. All right, to use that. And let's just double check our answer that we put here to see if it's correct. Let's check answer. We're good. We're correct. It didn't say how many decimal places, so that's why I just put it all. Okay, so the homework that is on My HRW is going to be due on Wednesday next week. All right, so you have some time to work on that and also to make sure that you're completing any past assignments that you haven't completed yet. Remember, you need 60% or more of the work done for term 4 to pass. So if you're missing any of those assignments, you can always get them submitted to me before grades actually close. All right, so take that time. This is going to be due on Wednesday.